A live look now from Jacksonville, Florida, where you can see the wind and rain from Hurricane Dorian. More than 2 million people along the coast in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas have been warned to evacuate. Dorian is now moving faster as it tracks north up the Atlantic Ocean to the South Carolina coast. Already, the outer bands of that storm have hit the southernmost parts, including Hilton Head and Beaufort. We do have team coverage of Hurricane Dorian, beginning with meteorologists Vaughn Gaskin and Kevin Arnone in our First Alert weather team.
All right, Emily, let's talk about it. Hurricane Dorian still making an impact.
Kevin, thank you for breaking all that down. We continue our team coverage now with a look at the coast. Jason Raven has more on plans being made at SCEMD headquarters, and our Caroline Hecker is standing by with more on how preparations are going in Myrtle Beach. Caroline, just looking at you, we can see how strong that wind is already.
That's right, Emily. The wind is certainly picking up, and we're actually starting to feel the first few sprinkles fall.
Caroline, thank you. Officials estimate more than 244,000 people have left the coastal areas since the evacuation order was given. To ease traffic with those evacuations, lanes on I-26 out of Charleston were reversed to allow both lanes to head west into Columbia. This is a look at evacuees moving through Orangeburg County yesterday. Those reversals ended at noon today. SCDOT says lane reversals on Highway 278 out of Hilton Head have also ended. Here in South Carolina, state agencies are working around the clock to monitor Hurricane Dorian. Our Jason Raven is standing by now with an update on plans from the South Carolina Emergency Management Division. Jason?
Hey, well, we're waiting to hear from state officials later on today. News 10.
Thank you, Jason. And we'll be checking back in with Jason throughout our evening newscast for updates to the emergency management team's plans. The Red Cross will open shelters for evacuees this afternoon in Clarendon County. Manning High School in Manning and East Clarendon Middle and High Schools in Turbyville will open at 4 p.m. The resource center behind Old Scott's Branch High School in Somerton will also open at 4. Clarendon 1, 2, and 3 school districts will dismiss early today and will be closed Thursday. The Sumter School District will also be closed tomorrow. Now, there's an early dismissal today and tomorrow for the Orangeburg County School District. Orangeburg County will be opening shelters at 1:30. You can find a complete list of closings and shelters on WISTV.com. Power companies are also preparing for possible outages. The SC Electric Cooperatives say line workers from Kentucky are headed to Sumter. Crews from Tennessee, Georgia, and Arkansas are also on standby to help. Dominion Energy says it has about 2,000 employees and contract crew members ready to respond to power outages. And 1,250 new transformers are ready to go if crews need to replace them during the storm. Already, Dorian has made its destructive capabilities known in the Bahamas. A look at the damage there as some residents are looking at a complete rebuilding of their communities. Another live look from Jacksonville, Florida, where we can expect some wind and rain from Dorian throughout this afternoon. And aerial footage shows scenes of utter ruin in parts of the Bahamas in the wake of Hurricane Dorian, the most powerful storm on record ever to hit the island. Satellite company ISI estimates that more than 60% of the Grand Bahama Island is now underwater. At least 7 deaths have been reported. We just learned that's up from 5 just moments ago. Thousands of homes and buildings have been damaged. The storm's relentless wind and rain battered the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama, which have a combined population of about 70,000 people.
Did hear that there was quite a few more deaths than initially said. So it's going to be a long road, and there's nothing to go in and patch up. It has to be a full rebuild of those communities.
The Red Cross is reporting that more than 13,000 houses, that's about 45% of the total homes on the islands, have been severely damaged or destroyed. The governor's mandatory evacuation order for parts of coastal South Carolina has meant the relocation of hundreds of assisted living residents. Earlier this week, about 70 residents and 22 staff members arrived at the Harmony Collection in Columbia from their Charleston location. It's a senior housing community on Clemson Road. Once Governor Henry McMaster's mandatory evacuation went into effect Monday afternoon, staff with the assisted living communities were ready to put their plans in motion and had already prepared the residents, too.
Just take one person. They've got medications, toiletry items, clothing, blankets, pillows, towels. There's so much for one person. So ahead of time, they pack totes with the names of the residents on them. And we've got the apartment numbers figured out before they get here. So when they come in, they automatically have a direction to go to.
This is the second year in a row this location has hosted residents and staff from its Charleston location. Not only are people preparing for the worst in the Low Country, the Charleston Animal Society is making sure our furry friends are safe as well. The shelter has transported 35 animals, 15 cats and 20 dogs to Port St. Joe, Florida. But about 650 animals still remain. The Animal Society's president says animals being evacuated are adoptable, so they do not have to return to Charleston.
Animals are part of people's families. Either they have been a part of people's families or they will become a part of people's families. So our life-saving efforts are helping families, and that's why we do it.
Aside from evacuating animals, the shelter will continue rescue efforts for other local shelters that may experience flooding.
All right, the center of circulation about 100 miles east of Jacksonville, Florida now, still showing those huge outer bands. Some of those strong bands now moving onshore in South Carolina. We'll take a look at your complete weather forecast coming up.
Let's continue our team coverage now and head back to the coast where Paul Rivera is standing by with more on conditions in Charleston, where the outer bands of Dorian have just started to be felt. Paul, Kevin mentioned they're already seeing some showers that way.
Yeah, and hey, Emily, I mean, the rain is just starting to pick up a little bit here.
And we'll have much more from our crews out on the coast throughout the day right here on WIS. We're back after this.